Everyone, Jack Delahy here, founder of collegeconsulting.us. We have one mission at collegeconsulting.us, and that is to help the country's highest performing, most self-motivated students reach their full collegiate potential so they don't end up in 12th grade thinking, if only I had known how the rules of the game are played. In today's video, I actually want to highlight one of those ultra hardworking, ultra self-motivated, ultra high-performing students who got a second chance in the college planning journey. And that is an incredibly rare scenario. Let me give you some context. The student's name, Cole. Will flash up Cole on the screen with his mother, Suki, two amazing people. And before I talk about Cole, I need to give you some context on something that in the college planning world, the industry we operate in, can actually be very frustrating. And there's nothing we can do about it, but it's frustrating. And that is the ultimate goal that we provide, is to say, students, parents, you come into our program, we will change your lives. We will help you understand the rules of the college planning game, understand how to maximize your profile, maximize your transformation as a high schooler over 4 years. Yes, we are a 4-year program, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And because of that, because you joined our program, you will receive outsized results compared to if you had not joined our program, right? That's our goal. Well, the problem is the only way to ultimately actually determine if that was the case is we would have to have two parallel universes. One would be family joined our program, 4 years later, they got into their dream school. The other would be parallel universe, they don't join our program, they do it on their own, or they find some other form of help, then they see the results. Because in both, if you compare those two parallel universes, and it both ends up with the student getting into the exact same school, well then joining our program, while helpful, it actually didn't deliver any different result. Maybe it made you less stressful over the 4 years, but at the end of the day, in those two parallel universes, if you get into the same school doing it on your own versus joining our program, I would look you in the eye, family, and say, do not join our program. Save your hard-earned money. And so we run into this a lot when families are like, what schools have your students gotten into? I understand that question because that's what you have to go off of. And to be honest, when I get that question, our answers look pretty darn impressive. Every single year, we send students to the top schools in the country. Every single year, we send students to Ivy League schools. Every single year, we send students to their number one choice dream schools. But here's the thing. The real question should be, what schools did you get students into who in a parallel universe would not have gotten into? And what's so tricky about that is, while I always have a gut feeling, I have several students in this most recent class who I know, I've been doing this for 15 plus years now, who I know, like, if you hadn't worked with us for 4 years and really deeply built the profile and made the transformations that we helped you achieve, we did it together, all of us, student, parent. I know in my heart of hearts, you would not have been accepted to insert school. Recently, we had students, one of our students got into Duke this year. I know in my heart of hearts, without our program, our coaching, our methodology, and by the way, student and parents' incredible efforts, wouldn't have gotten in. We had a student get into MIT this year. Same. MIT, 3.8% acceptance rate. But to be clear, there have absolutely been situations where I say, wow, that student got into, we'll use one, Vanderbilt, 6% acceptance rate. And I do wonder sometimes, I'm like, they were such an elite student, would they have gotten in without our help? And there are times when I say, they might have. Did we make it easier? Did we make it less stressful? Did we make them more confident when they applied? Absolutely. Maybe did we help them get more scholarship money? Absolutely. But in my heart of hearts, I'd be lying if I didn't say, that student was so elite on their own. Academics, high school grades, test scores are the two most important factors. Those are entirely out of our coaching control. Might they have gotten in without us? Yeah. be the first to admit that. So why do I give you this context? I give you this context to tell you a few years back, we had a situation that is incredibly rare, and it provided the parallel universes that I've always wanted. Get ready for this. So, Cole's mom came to us a handful of years ago at this point, because Cole is now graduated from college, so it would have had to be at least 4 years ago. And Cole's mom found us online, saw what we do, saw what we'd been doing for, at that point, it would have been 11 plus years, saw our results, saw our methodology. We do like to take an approach of, we're really darn good at what we do, but we can also have fun along the way. Kid only has 4 years of high school, and she liked that, so she reached out, and it was the most unusual reach out I've ever seen. I'll never forget her inquiry. She said, Jack, I'm reaching out. I found your stuff. Here's the deal. My high schooler, Cole, is a senior. Now, here's the interesting thing. Just so everyone knows, if you're watching this, if you have a senior, we do not work with high school seniors. We are a 4-year program. But get a load of this. Here's why we did end up working with Cole. She said, for the last 4 years, Cole has gone to a very prestigious boarding school on the East Coast. They're from California. And part of the reason we sent him there, we'd have to ask her what the percentage of the value was. But part of the reason, she admitted this, that they sent him there was because they thought having Cole attend this prestigious East Coast boarding school would give him a leg up in the college admissions journey. He'd have ultra personalized support. And on top of that, the brand name of the school he went to is going to help. She was reaching out senior spring because Cole had gone through all of that. They had said the amount that we're paying for tuition, I don't even want to surmise what that amount was, but let's just say it's not that far off from a college tuition. Cole's going to be set when it comes to college admissions. He will reach his ceiling. Senior spring came around. Cole got rejected by every single one of his dream schools, including his top choice school of University of Virginia, out of state, which, by the way, you can go look it up, out of state versus in-state. It's a whole difference at UVA. Out of state at UVA these days, I'd have to look. We'll flash the stat on the screen. Somewhere between probably like 12 and 16%. We'll see if I'm right when we flash the stat on the screen. Okay. So she said, Jack, we are perplexed. We are devastated. Cole is about to graduate from high school in 6 weeks, and we don't know what to do. And so I met with Cole and Suki, and together we determined, I looked at this kid and I said, you've got it all. You've got the profile. You are high achieving. You are hardworking. You just did not know the rules of the game. And unfortunately, your private school did not teach you the rules of the game. And unfortunately, you simply did not know how to tell your story. So together we decided Cole was going to take a gap year. In this country, you can reapply to a school every 365 days. And in a crash course 365-day period, we enrolled Cole in our reverse admissions framework, having you describe as a student deeply what you want out of college and work backwards to tell that story to college admissions. He had none of this coaching prior. This is one of my favorite stories. Well, what do you know? 11 months later, Cole was admitted to his dream school of University of Virginia. Out of state, his top choice. Parallel universes. One of the few times in the college admissions world we can actually know for a fact. Profile didn't change. Academics didn't change. He didn't go to school for another year. Academics stayed the same. Test scores stayed the same. He didn't take the test again. What changed? How he told his story. He utilized our frameworks, and by the way, he went all in. He didn't just join and say, I'll kind of do what they say, but I'm just going to take a gap year and go have fun. Nope. Cole was ultra high performing. He cared, and it was so incredibly apparent from day one. Everything we guided him to do, he did. Every tweak of his profile, he did. Every deep thinking critical exercise, because that's the thing, folks. If you want to have a powerful story, it has to be authentic. You cannot have a college coaching company say, here's your story, do this. Doesn't work like that. It has to be authentic. And so he did it all. He did it all, and he told his story properly, and that resulted in a parallel universe, yes, a parallel universe situation where we got to see once and for all if proper coaching of high performance students has an effect. I've always known in my heart of hearts, it absolutely does. But how cool of that to see. And so to this day, you can go check it out. Cole is on our website. Cole's mom is on our website. They say the reverse admissions framework and the collegeconsulting.us program changed their lives, and it's really cool. It's why we do what we do. Where a expensive private school, boarding school, could not help Cole, we stepped in and took over. When I started this company 15 years ago now, my goal was to help high-performing students reach their full potential. Cole was one of those students, and what a great result to see is he was able to embrace our learnings and actually reach his full potential. By the way, once a student of ours for life. Cole actually texted me on his graduation day from University of Virginia 4 years later, thanking me once again. I did not need the thanks. You know why? He put in the effort. All we did was provide the guardrails, the structure, and the step-by-step plan, and he thrived. If you're watching this and you have a ultra high performing high schooler who is in 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, feel free to click the link below. You can book an entirely free college planning strategy session. I will be up front. Please do us a favor. This month, as I'm recording this, our calendar is absolutely packed with families inquiring about our limited spots in our program. Why do we have limited spots? It's very purposeful. I mandate that we're able to provide that Cole level, that Suki level attention. And so we have limited spots in our program. But if you are interested, please just do me a favor. Take your time filling out the application. If you're a parent, it'll take 5 to 7 minutes to complete. And please just ensure you deeply feel that your high schooler is high performing and is hardworking. Our support and guidance can change lives, but it will absolutely unequivocally fail if a student, and to some extent a parent, is not willing to put in consistent small efforts week over week over week. If you're watching this and you're saying, that sounds great, Jack, you can click the link below. Or if you say, Jack, I don't need that. I kind of just want some small tweaks here and there. Subscribe here, like here. We release YouTube videos often. You can also go to collegeconsulting.us/blog. Sign up to our newsletter. We send 7 days a week newsletters with completely free tips, advice, etc. Until next time, cheers.